Hi everybody, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks very much for tuning in. Sorry, I have the camera in a new position, so it's kind of like I keep looking in different spots and the camera's not there. Uh, but I mean to be looking at you, so you know. So today I want to talk about um, freedom and patriotism, and if one is more important than the other. Um, and I think that you need to think about this for a minute. So let me tell you a story about to give you some to help qualify where I'm coming from. Uh, in 1997, I built my first web page with the help of a couple of much more tech savvy friends in 1997 than I will ever be. And they're still good friends, and I'm very lucky to have them. Teach a man to fish and all that kind of stuff. They're great people. Uh, but I built my first web page with their help, and it was just a really simple page. It was just like a text links, and some pictures, some images, and and one of the things when we were building the page was my friend told me that I should look around for some images that I might want to put on the page that would, on the internet, that were already on the internet, that would give the page kind of my own flavor, you know, or help people understand a little better where I was coming from, that sort of thing. So when I built my very first web page in 1997, the very first thing that you would see when you would get to that web page is an American flag right at the top of the page. That was the very first thing. Top center page, American flag. It was just a static picture in 1997, and then like in 1998 or so, one of my friends made it into an animated GIF, and it looked like it was blowing in the wind. And the reason that I put that there as the very first thing that you would see when you got to my web page is because for me in 1997, that flag represented freedom reigns here. You know, like when the Marines would charge in into the battlefield and they take a and they'd raise, they'd take a certain area and they'd raise an American flag. It means, yeah, now this is free. This land is now free. That's what that represented, that flag. It meant it meant freedom reigns here. Under this flag, freedom reigns. And and I wanted people, when they came to my website, I wanted them to feel that too. To understand that that's who I am. That's what really matters to me is freedom. And and then in like 2001, um, early 2002 maybe, the flag went from being just a flag at the top of the page to being an upside down SOS type of signal. It's an international distress call, the American flag flown upside down. So it was put upside down as a distress call to everyone, to the world. Look, something has happened that is really bad, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't think we're being told the truth about what happened either. And and but I wanted to keep that flag up because it was, again, it represents that this is the land of freedom, and I wanted people on my webpage to know this is the land of freedom, and that's why I put that flag there. And then in 2003, on my birthday, March 19th, George W. Bush, attacked Iraq after years of millions and millions of people marching in the streets saying, "Don't attack Iraq." And at that point, I had to take the American flag down because I didn't feel like it was my best foot forward to the world. And it really broke my heart, I mean, because it's horrible to think that you can't be proud of this thing that meant so much to me. And now I have on my website, if you look, there's an American flag there again, and the Statue of Liberty. Because those things represent the ideal of America, the ideal of freedom. Or at least they did when I put them up originally. And for me, in my heart of heart, they still represent that. But when you watch the military industrial complex, the Pentagon, the White House, the mainstream media, all work together to fabricate absolute lies and lead our country into a war of choice, putting our brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters, our mothers and fathers into harm's way. You say, that's not right. And you stand up against it. And that's what America is really and truly about. Is standing up, is having the freedom to be able to stand up against your government and say, no, that's not right. We don't want you killing 1 million Iraqis, innocent Iraqis, with our tax dollars in our name, because that's not right in a war of choice for profit, because that's not right, based on lies fabricated by you guys, because that's not right. And now I got to hear people on a daily basis telling me how you can't speak out against the government. You can't stand up against the government. But that's not right. You can. And that's what the founding fathers wanted most of all, is for you to be able to stand up against the government, for you to be able to speak out against the government. Donald Trump says you have to always support your government. We have to always support the military. We have to always support our law enforcement. For 40, 50 years, the law enforcement has been completely wrong in a war on drugs. Everyone knows it. I don't care what kind of bullshit you want to spout. You know it's wrong. All you have to do is look around you and see people ODing left and right, and know the war on drugs is a load of bullshit. Again, made so that rich people can profit off of poor people. Poor people's lives being destroyed, so we can protect the children. Because we all know there's no poor children. I'm sorry. As I was saying, freedom is what this was based on. And to listen to people call other people anti-American because they're standing up against oppression and lies and racism and saying, that's not right. They take a knee during the national anthem, and it looks so incredibly respectful to me. It looks more respectful than anyone standing. Honestly and truly. And the only reason the national anthem is being played is because the military pays the NFL to play the national anthem.
Now, before 2009, all NFL players remained in their locker rooms when the national anthem played. That's right, the NFL tradition of standing for the national anthem didn't even begin until 2009. That's when the Pentagon started paying money to pro sports leagues to put on patriotic shows, and players were asked to join in these pregame ceremonies.
And you know what kind of people don't like freedom? The Taliban. The Taliban doesn't like freedom. They like oppression and holding people in servitude. You know what kind of people don't like freedom? ISIS. ISIS doesn't like freedom. ISIS wants you to bow down and do exactly as they say, or else they kill you. And this is what I don't get. I mean, it's so obvious that freedom is the ideal. It's the exact opposite of hate and all these other things. You know, that religion can't give you. Religion, we can't all unite around religion because we all have different religions. Freedom. You understand? Yeah. And it's so backwards. Everything is so like, is such double speak. You know, it's like I'm saying, you know, these. It's like you guys have Stockholm syndrome or something. It's like you're relating with your jailer, and you're thinking, oh, you know, it's not so bad that the government reads all my emails or collects all my text messages. I don't really care. I don't even notice that the government collects all my text messages. You know, I mean, how bad is it that the government is collecting every single photo that my 15-year-old daughter has taken with her cell phone? I mean, how bad? It's not like they're a bunch of pedophiles in the government looking at those pictures, or, you know, doing anything with those pictures, right? You know what kind of people don't like freedom? Is jailers. Jailers don't like freedom, because if people have freedom, then there's no one to put in jail. You know what kind of people don't like freedom? We're told the Russians don't like freedom, right? The Russians, they're evil. The Iranians, they don't like freedom. In fact, everybody that's evil and hates us, they hate us because of our freedom. This is what we unite. This is it. And it's just, like I said, it's double speak, you know. It's like, and this Stockholm syndrome thing, it's like you completely relate with your captors, the police state, and the prison industrial complex, and instead of looking at the facts and going, okay, who is it that really loves the war on drugs? Who is it? The criminal gangs and the drug cartels. They love the war on drugs. And the prison industrial complex, of course. And the police state. Police love the war on drugs. I mean, not the ones that are honest, but the ones that like to be the ones that are the boss of everybody. They love the war on drugs. Now, the drug cartels and the criminal gangs love the war on drugs. You end the war on drugs, and you take away all the criminal gangs' money. They can't buy weapons. They can't buy bullets. They can't. 80% of crime ends. You know who doesn't want 80% of crime to end? Police. Which is stupid. If they really cared about their brothers in blue, they would want 80% of crime to end. So they could just go and police peaceful streets. But you know what happens then? Then their budgets get cut. Then the Pentagon's budget gets cut. Then they start closing bases. And then you know what happens? Oh, look, 9/11 happens. Because they hate us for our freedom. I guess we can't cut the Pentagon's budget now, can we? No. It's all bullshit. You know, despots hate your freedom. Everyone that's a politician is threatened by your freedom. They believe, and this is why we need to unite around freedom, because then we can understand who the despots are, like the senators and the Congress people who see your personal freedom as a threat, as something that needs to be governed. You know, the governor in Washington State is the most liberal governor elected in the country. And you know what, Governor Inslee? We didn't elect the most liberal governor in the country so he could say, oh, you can only have an ounce of marijuana. Oh, no, you can't grow marijuana. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, it's legal, but you can't grow it, and you can only have an ounce. Now, if you want alcohol, you can go down to the U-Haul and you can get yourself a nice U-Haul truck and you can back up to Costco or Safeway and you can load it full of enough alcohol to kill any graduating class in the state. No rules whatsoever. But you can only have an ounce of weed, which never killed anybody. Good plan, Governor Inslee, Police State Inslee, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, you're so liberal. Oh, yeah, you love freedom so much, don't you, Governor Inslee? Your personal freedom is a threat to politicians. They believe your freedom is dangerous. That's what they want you to believe. That's what I'm saying about, it's like you have Stockholm Syndrome. It's like, oh no, if the gays get married, that's dangerous. Oh no, if marijuana is legal, that's dangerous. Oh no, freedom's dangerous. We can't have freedom, it's dangerous. You have Stockholm Syndrome. Oh, look at this guy with the long hair and the beard and no job. Oh God, he's not being part of society at all. That's dangerous. He's living his life in a free manner. That's dangerous. We can't have that. We can't support that. Get a haircut. Get a job. Shave that beard. What do you think you're doing? I'm living my life as free as I can on $600 a month. And I have a smile on my face on $600 a month. So, and that's because I cherish freedom. Your freedom. That's why I have a smile on my face. So you know. And it's the despots and the ISIS and the slave masters who hate freedom.
And I know we have freedoms and we have freedom of choice and many, many different freedoms. But you know what? It's still totally disrespectful.
Oh, I know, you have your freedoms. You have your freedoms. There's so many freedoms. Oh, the freedom. Freedom of choice. Oh, who gave these people freedom of choice? Jeez, what were they thinking? And he says, it doesn't just say, oh, you have your freedom of this, freedom of that. He says, but. And you know what happens when you say but? When you say but, you negate everything that you just said before the but. So you say, oh, I love you so very much, but not that much. You get what I'm saying? You got your freedom, you got freedom of choice, but if I have my way, we'll be taking those away soon. But you have no fucking but. No fucking bullshit. It's totally disrespectful. There is nothing more respectful, nothing more proud American than standing up in protest, than taking to the streets in protest. It's what America is all about. It's what the founding fathers wanted, was when you saw wrong, when you saw injustice, you were to get up and go out into the streets and fight for a better tomorrow. They wanted that of you. It's like I said, it's what God wants. God wants you to be free. And you know why? Because the only way you can reach your full potential is if you are as free as possible. Everything else is servitude. Everything else is bowing down to a symbol, to some leader who preaches, oh, everything, the government's wrong and war is bad, and then as soon as he's the leader, oh, you can't question your country, oh, you can't question the military. When he's running for office, that's all he did. Now we can't question him. Now you don't, oh, you have your freedoms. I know you have your freedoms. But just as soon as possible, I'm going to take those away. You can count on that.
And I know we have freedoms, and we have freedom of choice, and many, many different freedoms. But you know what?
Let me explain why freedom is more important than patriotism. Because if patriotism was more important, the founding fathers would have been patriots to the British. They would have kneeled down in servitude, like this great word of patriotism that you all love to spout. Let me tell you something. I've been called patriot 1,000 times before anybody ever heard of fucking YouTube. Okay? And you guys, I know you don't think of me that way. The vast majority would. 1,000 times before anybody ever thought of YouTube. Easily 1,000 times. Patriotism is bullshit servitude. Freedom is all that matters. Why you act like, oh, that person can't have freedom, because if that person has freedom, somehow that affects my freedom. It doesn't affect your freedom. That just means our world is more free. It doesn't affect you if gay people are getting married. It just means they get to do the same stuff that you get to do. I don't understand marriage. I've never understood marriage. So whatever. Let them do what they want to do. Let everyone do what they want to do. As long as they're not fucking everything up. How does gay people getting married fucking everything up? How does people smoking marijuana fucking everything up? Because I'll tell you what, just as many people were smoking marijuana before it became legal. It's just ridiculous. The war on drugs doesn't work. You have to give people freedom, and then this opioid thing will be over. There won't be a big problem anymore. People will be getting help. Freedom's all that matters. Otherwise, we'd all be British. How hard is that to understand? You want to unite? You want us all to come together? Please, celebrate your neighbor's freedom. Encourage people to live their lives the way they want. Celebrate that. Oh, the Nazis are going to parade. Let's go. Let's all go cheer on the Nazis. I don't care. Whatever it is, you don't have to go cheer on the Nazis. You don't have to go cheer on the Black Lives Matter people. You just have to recognize that they're being very brave and they're trying to do what's right, and they have every right in the world to do it. And I may not agree with what they have to say. I may not agree with their argument, but I'm so glad that they have the right to do it. I will fight to my death to protect their right to do it. Instead of, no, no, no. Why are you threatened by freedom? I don't understand. It's all there is. Otherwise, we'd be British. I don't know. I'm gonna look at this video. I'm probably not very being very clear on what I wanted to say. But I want you to know that I fought for the last 20 years of my life for your freedom, because I love your freedom. I celebrate your freedom. I want you to go out in the world and express your freedom. And it's not just me that wants that. God wants you to be free. That's why God gave you your freedom. God wants you to be all that you can be, and the only way that you can do that is to be as free as possible, and to believe in yourself, and to believe in freedom. Freedom is my religion. We need a new religion. I think we should start a religion based on freedom. I think, and it's got to be a different word than religion, but I think this thing I keep hearing is, oh, if we could just all find something to unite around. This is what we need to unite around. The ideal of freedom. Our love of freedom. Our desire for everyone to be able to live their lives in a free manner. Every day I see more of it taken away. Every day I see less people fighting for it, just kind of like going along with the idea that, no, we don't want that kind of freedom around here. And it makes me very sad because like I said, I fought for freedom and fought and fought and fought. And I did it because I believed in it, and it just scares the hell out of me seeing all you people who just don't believe in freedom. You know, from the minute I started making YouTube videos, people, oh, get a haircut, oh, get a job, oh, shave that fucking beard. From the minute 13 years ago I started making YouTube videos. You know, and it's just, it's almost like you're threatened by freedom. Any free expression. It's like, oh, no, we can't have that. No, 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 we can't have that. Freedom is the one thing that we want most of all, and that we must have, and that we must cherish, and we must embrace all together and unite around. This is the one thing that can bring us all together. Just say, I cherish freedom. I love freedom. I want freedom for everyone. And you can feel it in your chest. You can feel it energize you and make you feel stronger. And I wish that everyone around the world could do this, could all join hands and unite and say, we love freedom. We celebrate freedom most of all. Instead of trying to hold other people down. Because every day America becomes a lot more like a police state and a lot less like people who love freedom. And that just scares the hell out of me. And I had to say something. So I have. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. I really could use some help on donations. The donations have just been horrible. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I got 3 donations other than my regular monthly donations in September. And does that slow me down from? I have 11 regular subscribers that donate once a month. And out of the 3 other people that donated, one of them was a regular monthly subscriber. And one of the other people that donated $1. Thank you to that person. You're much more generous than 99.999% of other people. So thank you very much. If you'd like to make a donation, there's text links in the text body of this video, or you can go to Mox News. It takes like 2 minutes to do it, and it doesn't slow me down if you don't donate. I keep working. I keep trying to do what's right. I keep fighting for your freedom. What more do you want from me for your measly $5? That's all I'm saying. Stay cool. One of these days, this war is going to end. It's got to end one of these days, right? I mean, we really have to keep supporting our military for endless wars of choice. Endless. We're supposed to support our military endlessly for wars of choice based on lies while they pay ISIS and the Taliban. We got to keep supporting our military. Really, Donald Trump? Just to be clear, I love freedom. I like freedom. I just realized I watched Idiocracy the other day, and I just realized I quote it all the time. I say, I like money. I like ice cream. I like sex. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is Mox News. Stay cool.
There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.